Hi guys, this is Frank. Today I want to teach you 3 ways to study a language. I'm a student studying at Columbia University and my major is applied linguistics. And I have been studying English for more than 10 years. I have the experience of learning a second language and I have been teaching for students for years. I have accumulated their learning patterns. And there are 3 most important factors for you to learn the language: to communicate, the comprehensible input, and the comprehensible output. So let's demonstrate it. The first is to communicate. Every time when you study a language, you always want to communicate because language is a communicative tool. If you don't use it for communication, what are you going to use it for? There are 2 examples that can demonstrate that point. One is from my student. They are twin brothers and they arrived in the US when they just graduated from elementary school. And after 4 years of studying in the US, their language ability does not seem to improve because they only talk to each other using Mandarin Chinese. They don't talk to each other in English and they don't want to communicate with the other foreign students in English, and they don't want to communicate with native speakers. So we can see the power of communication here. I have the other example. I have a friend who has been in Harvard University right now. She only studied in a university for about 1 semester. At that point, I thought, in the very beginning, I thought her English is not that good. He can barely make any speech, but after a semester, hanging out with American friends and native speakers, her English got so good, it's even native-like. So now you see the power of communication to communicate with others. And the second is the comprehensible input. According to Krashen, who is the second language acquisition specialist, she found that comprehensible input is the key and the prerequisite for everything in language learning. If you don't understand Japanese, for example, you listen to the sounds and you listen to their talking, you listen to the news, but you can get nothing out of it because you don't know anything of it. Or if you just know a little bit, it is not helpful because you don't understand. You cannot observe the linguistic features from those incomprehensible input. So comprehensible input is significant. Only by comprehending the contents, and the contents become meaningful to you so that you can observe the linguistic features and to notice the forms, and then so that you can use it for future. And the third is the comprehensible output. Relatively different to comprehensible input, the output focused more on the gap. Do you have that experience when you are trying to express something but you don't know how to express it in a second language? It also happens to me very often. But how can you do that? Just to practice the output very often. You can do that by yourself or to practice it with native speakers. By practicing with native speakers, you can receive corrective feedback so that you not only output, but you not only notice the gap between what you want to express and what you can express, but also learn the authentic language, that the authentic linguistics piece that you can use. And by talking to yourself as an output measure, you can rebuild your brain. You can just think about learning process like this. This is a neuron and this is another neuron. And if you want to learn something and build connection, you are forcing yourself to build the 2 neurons to hit to each other. if you try to force yourself to hit the nuance, and then that connection is built, and then you learned something. Learning a language is also like that. If you try to push yourself to have the pushed output, which is like this, you learned something, even though sometimes it's not authentic, even though sometimes it's not very accurate to native speakers, but it can actually help you to boost your language learning. So, all in all, in a nutshell, to communicate, the communication is very important, and the comprehensible input as well as the comprehensible output are three key factors for language learning. If you like my video, please hit the button below and subscribe my channel. Your subscription will be appreciated. Thank you so much for your subscription.